All right, so I guess I am going to do at least one more video. In this video, I think what I have time for today is I'm going to basically match drill, what are these things called? Spar caps to the rear spar. So the spar caps are these things right here, and they need to be match drilled to this thing right here. So basically, in this case, match drilling refers to the fact that these things, spar caps, don't have any rivet holes yet. So I need to go through and drill those. I've already have one spar cap that I have Cleco clamped on here. Cleco clamps are basically these clamps that actually grip pretty good, and you have to put it on and off with this Cleco tool right here. In any case, I am going to start match drilling these holes, and that's it. So for the back side, the plans call for first drilling through with a 1/8 inch drill bit, then kind of drilling along the sides here with a 40-inch drill bit. As you drill holes, you're gonna put Clecos in there, and Clecos are basically these things that kind of pull the metal together. I kind of think of them as temporary rivets. So after everything's done, eventually the 1/8 holes are gonna be upsized to a number 30 hole. But for right now, we're drilling with 1/8. So here we go. Okay, so I just finished match drilling all the spar caps to the rear spar. I think that's what it's called. There you go, rear spar. And then I deburred them afterwards. And now I've got to Cleco everything back together. Final drill some of the 1/8 holes to number 30s. And final drill a whole bunch of other stuff like that. Things in this video going quickly, and last video, because I'm only kind of showing highlights and speeding things up. So far I have about, I don't know, 7.5, 8 hours into this. It's taken a long time. In any case, I'm gonna start Clecoing these parts back together, do the final drill, and then I think things will be ready for this, my first, I guess, airplane part. Then I'll do things to the rest of it and get on to spraying primer on these suckers. In any case, let me get to it. So I just finished kind of final size drilling a lot of these things. I put these, I don't know what these things are called, whatever those things are called, put those on, final size drilled those. Now I get to take this thing apart, which is kind of a bummer because it's kind of cool. Now that I have it all together. I'm gonna take these all apart, deburr the holes that I just final size drilled. I'm going to countersink this thing on the spar doubler, and I don't know what comes after that. I haven't looked that far ahead in the plans. In any case, I'm gonna start doing all that. These past years, I've been planning for this build. I've had a lot of time to think about setting up my shop, stuff like that. So I put in lights, bought an air compressor, you know, stuff I might put in another video. But one of the things that I got to do while I waited to try to decide if I wanted to build this airplane, and then once I ordered the kit, you know, there's quite a wait time on some of these things. So I basically planned out my shop and what I wanted to do. And a lot of times I'd basically find myself at least once a week online looking at tools and thinking, I might need that. And some of the things I bought, I'm not sure I'll need, but I've got them, we'll see. One of the things that I bought though that I can tell you right now I really enjoy is this pneumatic Cleco puller. So the alternative to using something like this is the Cleco tool right here. And this isn't so bad. I got a spring-loaded version, which is kind of nice. But this thing, I'm telling you what, it is fast. It allows you to go through a line of Clecos and pull them in, put them in, or especially pull them out pretty quickly. And I really like it. Glad I got it. In any case, let's move on to countersinking. So in order to get some of the rivets to sit flush with the skin of the aircraft or with some of the surfaces of the aircraft, like spar doubler, rear spar doubler, you need to kind of put a countersink on it, or it's kind of chamfer around the edges a little bit so it allows the flat-headed rivet to sit flush. Now to do that, there's tools that have a countersink cage, and with the countersink cutter, and you kind of got to adjust it such that when you're pushing down on it, it gives it just the right amount of cuts just the right amount of hole. If you don't cut enough, the rivet head is going to sit proud of the surface, otherwise it'll sink down below. You want it to be just so. I actually went and got 2 or 3 of these cages, and I anticipate that I will, once I have one dialed in, I'm not going to fiddle with it. So this is for a 30 size, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. At first, when I pulled the plastic off both of the rudder outside skins, I thought I got them backwards. I thought I accidentally pulled off the exterior skins rather than interior skins. The plans call for label one side is left and one side is right. But when I looked at the part number that was actually printed on the plastic here, it looks like they're both the same. I looked at the shipping list, looks like they're the same, so close call. In any case, I will now strip off just the parts of the outside that I want to cutting things with the soldering iron. right, so I'm finally finished with deburring all the edges and all the holes and taking off some of the blue plastic from the exterior skins for both the rudder and the vertical stabilizer. One thing I found that was kind of useful is instead of using that hand deburring tool where I spin it around, I have a electric screwdriver by DeWalt that kind of has a gyro in it, so you can push it on like this, but it only starts turning if you actually rotate. And using that, I was able to deburr a lot quicker. You have to be a little bit careful not to take off too much material when you do that, but I found if you put it in the hole and you're done. So that was kind of useful. In any case, now I'm moving on to I need a cleco. I'm going to turn my attention to the vertical stabilizer. I'm going to cleco together the internal structure. I think all of the holes that I have are final sized, and so I don't have to do this step. In the plans, it wants you to match drill all the 30 and 40 holes. I don't think I need to do that, but I'm going to cleco it together, A, because I want to see what this sucker is going to look like when I'm done, and B, I'm just going to go through and check to make sure everything's match drilled. I think it is about 96% sure, maybe even 97% sure that it is, but that's all right. I'm still going to kind of put it all together and see what it looks like. So next step, start clecoing some things together for the vertical stabilizer. So I just finished clecoing this structure right here together. It's kind of cool. It's the first time I've ever built anything that looks like an airplane part. Well, I sort of built it. It's just sort of stuck together with clecos. Kind of wobbly, flimsy. Hopefully when I put the outer skin on, it'll be a little bit stiffer, but who knows, we'll see. The instructions say to put on the outer skin, and I'm going to try doing that. It says to do it to match drill, and most of the parts, actually pretty much all the parts that I have are supposedly already match drilled, and so I don't need to match drill any of these particular parts anyway. But the instructions say you cleco the skin on. Even if I'm not going to end up match drilling anything, I kind of want to check to make sure everything's good, and I just kind of want to see what it looks like with the skin on. If you, for whatever reason, because maybe you have no life or watching these videos on YouTube, everything getting up till about right now hasn't taken very long, at least not in watching it. But I'm on hour about number 17 right now and doing all this stuff, and I kind of want to see where this is going. I want to pick up an airplane part, kind of hold it, see what it feels like and all that. So I'm going to try putting the skin on. Supposedly this is a pain in the butt. Never tried it before, so we'll see. I've been working out at the gym. Hopefully that'll help, but no way to tell until I try it. So I'm going to try to put the skin on. Okay, many of the aspects of this build so far, even though I put in like 17 hours, and all that. A lot of the work that goes into building this thing I found to be kind of fun, maybe even therapeutic. Putting this sucker on is not fun and it's not therapeutic. So I finished clecoing this whole thing together. Putting the skin on was kind of a pain in the butt. I really hope it goes on easier after I prime it. Maybe it's stretched out a little bit, or the parts kind of work together a little bit better after I put all the clecos in. I don't know. I checked pretty much all the holes that I need to, with kind of sticking the back end of a drill in, just to gut check to make sure everything is sort of final sized holes. All the holes are the correct size. I don't need to do any match drilling that I can tell. I might have to do some. I have to read the instructions more carefully. I might have to do some on the rear spar, but overall, this is kind of what an airplane part looks like. Now, I've read enough blogs for people that have put airplanes together, and usually in their blog they have, they kind of make this sucker and they're really happy about it, and then the blog continues on for another 5 years before they build their airplane. So I might have another 5 years of working on this, but just having this kind of thing built and seeing kind of something that looks like an airplane part, that's kind of satisfying. So frustrating to put the skin on, but satisfying to see what an actual airplane part that you can make in your garage looks like. So anyway, that's it for me tonight. I think I'm gonna go to bed, probably watch something dumb on YouTube and eat some ice cream.